Welcome to beautiful Vienna, Austria's great capital and largest city. This year, Vital Options International took on its 6th year of the on-site coverage of the signature gathering, the essential ESMO ECCO Congress. The European Cancer Congress combined the efforts of the most important European oncology professionals with the aim of improving the prevention, diagnosis, treatment, and care of cancer patients.
We are patient advocates. So we are advocates for the ones for whom any prevention is coming too late, because they are already a patient. So I would like to go back to the ones who've been hit by the bus. So it's good to say I should have done this in the past. We all know we can't change the past. So something I would like to bring up, and this is a bit picking up on the comment we had before, there are diseases where the cheap cancer drugs won't cure you. There's no hope for that. But there are novel drugs that will. This has happened to CML when Gleevec, where they died like melanoma still dies today, and a single drug has changed the game. We have a similar situation now in melanoma. And while I see the argument that for this amount of money we could either cure people or one, in my case, melanoma patient, that for me comes with a huge ethical issue, because it's always easier to say the others should do the dying, but when it hits yourself, you want to have the drug and you want to have access to the drug. And this is a bit what the colleagues said for India. Why should Indian patients not have access to the latest innovation? Why should a Romanian melanoma patient die but the German one gets to live? And I think this is something we should not enter into this solidarity splitting discussions. You have a cheap cancer, you can live. You have an expensive cancer, you're going to die. Who are we? I mean, we should find ways that both cancer patients have a chance. It is not one's fault. You don't get to pick your cancer. You don't get a questionnaire. This is not how it works. A life of everyone is worth something. So I think univocal on any side, we should not side. We need one system that takes care of the entire spectrum. And it is not an either-or discussion. It is not we buy the cheaper ones or the expensive ones. We need to find a way to grow the pie, that there is enough for everyone. And I think this is what we have to care about. And prevention, I totally agree. I fully agree. It's a nice, the HPV one is a nice example because there is one where you can vaccinate. But lots of cancers are not caused by viruses. And now comes the huge side effects thing about Gardasil that just came out and made a huge splash where they find out that it has huge side effects. So it's not that they come without risks either. So I think we have to start thinking broader across cancers, across regions. And that's why I think it's exciting to have like a global approach. We should not say, oh, it's good for us in the rich countries or Europe. I think we need a global approach.
Yeah. Can I make a comment on this? I'm still online. Yeah, I'm still.
It's the only one that works.
Okay, that's WHO style. Thank you. So I just would like to build on the HPV story. The HPV story is fascinating because 10 years ago we met in Montreal and we said, oh, exciting story about HPV, but it's extremely expensive. No? $300 one doses. Now we are at $3 a doses. And why? Why? Because the Gavi, the Global Alliance for Vaccine and Immunization, which is a fantastic delivery model for vaccines, has taken it up in its portfolio 2 years ago. How Gavi works? Do you know Gavi, the Global Alliance for Vaccine and Immunization, is a fund of several UN agencies, and they are tailoring the medicines, not medicine, but vaccines to the countries which have the least GDP, the Gavi eligible countries, the very poor countries. And there's a negotiation because in place with the private sector, say, look, we have 2 million doses. They call it advanced market commitment. We want to vaccine boys or girls in Africa on HPV. But we buy it at the price of $3, or because we have a huge pool of clients, and the private sector works very nicely with Gavi, and the price goes down. This is a model for vaccines, but we could think about other models delivering for medicines. There's another model of expensive drugs going down in price with the HIV-RT treatment. 10 years ago, RT was unaffordable. It was like the most recent cancer drugs, no? Cancer medicines. With the dynamic of NGOs lobbying for HIV, having HIV at the General Assembly in 2000, United Nations General Assembly, similar to the resolution we had for NCD in 2011, this made a huge change in access for medicines. They created the Global Fund, they created UNAIDS, delivery model, NGOs, worked together with UN, not only WHO, but the UN consortium. But there's a big difference between HIV and NCD. We don't have a global fund. Making RT accessible to all, and this was our Director General DG Lee, who was at 3x5, the initiative, how many HIV people we want to have on treatment by year 2005, 3 million, no? And it was more or less achieved because there was the global fund model. We don't have this for NCD now. We don't have this for cancer. We have to think in other delivery models, and you need to be very creative. You need to invest and to be part of the debate in a country, but also global debate, and to submit your proposals, because this is now changing the game at the global development agenda. The SDGs is changing substantially the priorities, and we need to make sure that access to medicines is part of that. Universal health coverage means a system for a minimum services for everybody, and the model of universal health coverage will help to make cancer medicines also accessible for everybody. So this is an exciting moment to have this session here with you, and to engage you in a fight, and you have models where NGOs have changed the game, and I encourage you to do it. Take it up, to get all the information you know, but with the limitation that think about the system, not only a disease only, and not only a medicine only. Put it in a system.